So I like to, you know, check in on my fragrances when they're maturing, oxidizing, whatever term you want to use, and just see how they're evolved, see what direction it's going to go in. And I once said 10 days ago that Dumont Nitro Gold, though I still recommended it, it wasn't what I expected. It was more like Arm Off Milestone than Valentino to my nose. And it was just watermelon that evolved into a different type of watermelon. I could say that I was wrong. This fragrance did do what I said it needed to do. Not a complete 180 because we're not quite there, but it has made some major leaps in a good direction. So in the opening, the fruit notes that I get that are listed, they do equate to watermelon to my nose, which I think is that Creed, Millesime Imperial, Arm Off Milestone twist that everybody talks about. But after a few minutes to dry down, what I start to pick up on is red apple. It's not entirely clear. Like if I had to put it in like visual terms, it would be like the difference of like 720 versus 4K. It's more in that 1080p type range right now. It's not quite 4K yet. It'd be cool if it was. Maybe with more time sitting it will. But I do pick up on apple, which hindsight being 2020 makes a lot of sense why I said the watermelon smelled like fruit punch to my nose. There was something throwing me off there. That was the apple. It was just completely grainy, right? So notes have really settled down. They're starting to round out, and I do pick up on apple. Now in the dry down, or in that mid, I start to pick up on woods. To my nose, it smells like cedar. I don't have the notes in front of me, so I'm not 100% sure if it's cedar, but it does smell like cedar to me. But regardless, we have woods coming through, which gives this fragrance even more character, right? It's not linear watermelon. There's more going on, which makes this fragrance overall more interesting and less redundant for me, which I'm very happy about. I do pick up in the mid. It's still a little screechy. It's not quite as clear as I'd like it to be, but I'm not going to knock this fragrance. It's not bad. It wasn't bad in the beginning. It's even better now. I just think it needs more time to sit. And even if that screechiness still remains, I only pick up on it up close. I don't pick up on it in the air. So that's a win. But more evolution will just be icing on the cake for this fragrance if it improves even more over time. Overall, I will say the House of Dumont, I like it, but it's not my favorite house for inspired by fragrances. I just notice, it's not much, but it's a difference that I pick up on to my nose. When compared to like other, major inspired by Middle Eastern fragrance brands, they're just not at the same level of quality as like those top tier. I wouldn't put them top tier, in my opinion. Which is why when I almost pulled the trigger on purchasing Nitro Platinum, because I wanted that DNA. But when I found out the Hawass fragrance was coming out, I kind of just pumped the brakes and wanted to see which one was better. Because if I was a betting man, I've had good experiences with Hawass. I tend to lean more towards them as being better quality overall, better longevity, better projection, all of the stuff that you like. However, a lot of people say, Dumont is like their beast mode performance fragrance. They perform well. Like I'm not really complaining there, but it's just more so for me towards that like refinement and quality of the scent, whether it's up close, whether it's out in the air. They're just better overall in my opinion. I have nothing against Dumont. I like Dumont. I own, a few Dumonts, and I'm happy with all of them. But I just want the feedback to come in between those two fragrances to really make an informed decision. I'll let other people take the beach this time, and they can tell me which one. Because this one, as far as I know, is unique on its own. There's no other house that is doing the same thing that Dumont is with this fragrance, so there's nothing to compare it to. It's really doing its own thing. Whereas between Platinum and Hawass, they're both going after the same fragrance, so there's more decisions to be made there. But overall, I'm really happy with this one. It's proved me wrong. I hope it continues to prove me wrong because that's just better for me. But like I said, it was good when I first got it. It just wasn't what I expected. Now it's starting to become more what I expected. It's showing more of the notes that I actually pick up on when I first looked at the fragrance breakdown and made the decision to purchase it. So that makes me happy. If you guys want another update in a couple weeks, let me know. I'll be happy to provide it. But I think if you bought Dumont Nitro Gold, whether you bought it initially off my first video or even now, if you decided to purchase this, I think you'll be just as happy to. But just know it has to sit. So if you have any questions, comment down below. Thank you for watching.